It was one of London's hazy mornings. Emma, 19, sat at the large wooden table in the kitchen, stirring her cup of coffee, lost in thought. Nathan entered the kitchen, folding the newspaper stiffly, as usual. He had his usual serious expression on his face. "What are your plans for today?" he asked in a cold tone. Emma was used to Nathan's questioning demeanor, but something was different this morning. Jack appeared next to Nathan. He had his shirt sleeves rolled up and that familiar mocking look in his eyes. "Stop pushing her so hard, Nathan," Jack said as he winked at Emma. "All Emma wants is a breather, don't you think, Missy?" Emma felt trapped in the dynamic between her brothers. Somewhere between Nathan's controlling nature and Jack's indifference, it had become an exhausting struggle for her. But this morning, something else was confusing Emma. Ryan. Ryan, Emma's boyfriend, was like a safe harbor for her. Emma felt comfortable around him. But lately she had begun to realize that something was missing. Was her devotion to Ryan a habit, or was she really in love with him? She tried to find the answer to that question under Nathan's questioning gaze. Nathan's friend Tom's birthday party became the topic of the evening. "We don't have to go," Emma said, sighing slightly. But Nathan was determined. "No, we're going. We could all do with a bit of socializing." Jack took the opportunity to add, "Does Emma have a new outfit? Maybe she can have some fun at the party." Emma was in her room trying to pick out her clothes when Jack appeared in the doorway. "Is Ryan someone who would leave you so reckless?" he asked. Emma looked up at Jack. "What does that mean?" Jack shrugged with a slight smile. "I just thought maybe he doesn't understand your needs." Those words echoed in Emma's head. Jack had spoken in his usual sarcastic tone, but she couldn't help thinking that there might be some truth in what he had said. Looking in the mirror in the dress she wore that night, she began to question whether Ryan really cared about her. Tom's house was in one of London's wealthier neighborhoods. When they walked in, Emma was overwhelmed by the atmosphere of the party. Between the music, the lights, and the laughter, Emma suddenly felt out of place. Her recent arguments with Ryan and Jack's insinuations had left her feeling uneasy. While Nathan kept Emma under surveillance at the party, Jack was busy making fun of her. "Emma, aren't you going to dance?" Jack asked, holding up his drink. Emma used to resent Jack's laid-back demeanor, but tonight his presence was somehow comforting. Ryan didn't pay enough attention to Emma at the party. He was engrossed in his own group of friends, almost ignoring Emma. This only added to Emma's anger. Jack seemed to notice Ryan's uncaring attitude and came over to Emma and handed her a drink. "Don't take him so seriously. Maybe the real problem is that he doesn't deserve you." As the night wore on, an unexpected intimacy began to form between Emma and Jack. Every word Jack said to Emma awakened a secret desire in her. Emma felt that Jack understood her and really saw her. Nathan watched his brothers from afar. He was always aware of everything. He recognized Jack's interest in Emma, but chose not to express it. Throughout the party, Nathan gave Jack warning glances, but Jack didn't care. By the end of the party, Emma and Jack's closeness was undeniable. Even when Emma was with Ryan, she was thinking about Jack's words and looks. At one point in the night, Emma found herself in a room alone with Jack. In that moment, Emma realized that she was about to cross her own boundaries. This event would leave an irrevocable mark on Emma's life. Deep wounds were opened in both her relationship with Jack and her commitment to Ryan. Nathan continued to monitor everything to ensure Emma's safety. In all this emotional turmoil, Emma struggled to find the line between right and wrong. After the party, Emma's mind was in turmoil. The intimacy with Jack that night had awakened in her a mixture of guilt and excitement she had never felt before. On the way home, Nathan, Jack, and Emma sat in silence in the same car. Music played softly from Jack's phone, but the thoughts in Emma's mind were so loud she couldn't hear anything. She could feel Nathan staring at her in the rearview mirror. Did Nathan know something? Or was he just being as careful to protect her as always? Emma leaned her head against the windshield, turning these questions over in her head. Jack was sitting comfortably in the back seat, playing on his phone as if nothing had happened. When they arrived home, Nathan solemnly called everyone into the kitchen. "Some of the things I saw tonight bothered me," he began. Jack's eyebrows went up, a faint smile on his face. Emma, on the other hand, was ice cold. Nathan continued, "Emma, I'm starting to question your seriousness about your relationship with Ryan. If there's no future in it, you need to make that clear from the start." Emma was taken aback by Nathan's words. He didn't seem to understand what had happened, but his intuition was always strong. The fact that Jack had left the kitchen without getting involved in the conversation made Emma even more uneasy. Jack's avoidance of confronting Nathan showed that he knew what he was doing. The next morning, Emma found herself in a strange, emotional vacuum. She realized how superficial her relationship with Ryan had been, but was what happened with Jack just a momentary lapse? Or was it the beginning of something deeper? Jack acted as if he didn't care about any of this. At breakfast, everyone was quiet. Jack occasionally glanced at Emma with a slight smile, which made her nervous. Nathan's gaze was focused on both of them. Could Nathan know something? When Emma realized she couldn't deal with the guilt, she decided to meet Ryan that afternoon. She tried to be honest with him, but the words wouldn't come out. "I've been feeling a bit distant lately," Emma said as she walked with Ryan. Ryan didn't seem to take it seriously. "We all feel that way sometimes. It'll get better." He tried to dismiss it. Emma felt even more uncomfortable with Ryan's nonchalant attitude. Did Ryan really not understand her? Or did he not want to? Emma unconsciously started thinking about Jack. Jack's bold and sarcastic demeanor was more attractive than Ryan's safe but flat character. This thought continued to confuse Emma. That evening, Nathan called Emma to his room. Emma had a vague idea of what they were going to talk about. Nathan stood there, looking as serious as ever. "You have to watch out for Jack," he said. Emma was surprised. "What do you mean?" she asked. "You know what I mean, Emma. Jack is fun-loving, but sometimes he doesn't care about boundaries. It's my responsibility to protect you, but you have to protect yourself." Nathan's words both disturbed Emma and made her think. Was Jack really that irresponsible, or was Nathan being overprotective as usual? Emma tried not to show Nathan anything, but she knew he was studying her carefully. A few days after Nathan's warning, Emma was home alone. Jack walked into the kitchen and sat down at the table with a coffee mug. "Does Nathan bore you much?" he asked with a wry smile. Emma gave him a stern look. "Nathan's just trying to protect me. He needs to protect you a little too." Jack laughed. "Nathan can't protect me, Emma. I can take care of myself, but I know he would do anything to protect you." Those words triggered something inside Emma. There was something hidden behind Jack's sarcasm, but it was hard to tell what it was. Emma couldn't decide whether she should take what he was saying seriously or not. Jack moved closer to Emma and whispered, "Ryan will never understand you like I do. You know that." Emma wanted to pull back, but could what Jack was saying be true? Ryan's indifference and Jack's attention to her made Emma question her boundaries once again. One evening, when Nathan left for work, Emma and Jack were left alone. The silence in the house was more intense than usual. Jack was doing something in the living room. Emma was uncomfortable, but at the same time she needed to talk to Jack. "Jack," Emma said, breaking the silence. "What happened at the party that night? It was wrong. It shouldn't happen again." Jack smiled without looking up. "Emma, do you really think it was wrong? Or are you so scared because it was right?" The question left Emma vulnerable. Jack's confidence and courage created a deep confusion inside Emma. That night, the tension between Jack and Emma would turn into a decision that would change their lives forever, without either of them realizing it.